What hurdles or difficulties have you experienced in your time as a musician, as a composer, producer, and eventually as a person who puts their content out to the world on YouTube, which we know can be a very harrowing experience?
Oh, hurdles. Well, like that's kind of a big question. Well, many things. It's everything from getting time to do stuff, which I find is as you get older, you may you may not have the stamina to go as long and hard as you used to do when you were younger. You could stay up longer and like sit for 8 or 12 hours straight, which is not something I would condone because take breaks. When you start to hear, kind of like you feel the fatigue coming, take a break, go out, get some fresh air. Uh, Tip number one. But yeah, I'd say the biggest hurdle for me right now is actually the smartphone and the social media that we have. It's so distracting. Because I just leave my phone on the side and it's like always there, kind of like always poking me and like I have to check. Oh, okay, I know. Just and then it just distracts me from doing stuff. Even if I put it all the way in a different room, it's like oh, it's always in the back of my mind. Oh, okay, I need to check if someone's calling me or. So I feel social media is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing for me. I try to work with it. It's a bit hard to overcome, but and then the other thing is that I have this great studio right now, which is kind of like something I wanted for a long time because I used to live in a really small apartment. It was 34 square meters, just a very tiny thing, you know.
Oh,
And
I
if
know. I know.
oh, I was dreaming of getting a big space where I can put everything out and I can move around and I can access everything from where I sit and I can go behind stuff, which I can do now. But then I want to quote Jean-Michel Jarre, because he always said that, and he's got this huge monstrous synth setup from since the late 70s. But he said something that's kind of like always kind of like in churning in the back of my mind, and that's if you have too much stuff, you kind of like you're gonna narrow your field of focus. You're gonna narrow your creativity because you have so much possibilities. It's much better to actually start with a small frame and then work within those limits and then kind of be creative inside a small frame of space, um, which is kind of true. And I do feel a little bit of like, oh, it's a bit overwhelming. I have like 100 modules and synthesizers and stuff, or something like that, and then it's, where to start? Where should I go now? When am I utilizing all of this gear to the max? Of course, I'm not because I pick a sound here, pick a sound there, and like they can do so much more. So it's only, I guess, it's only just my own, yeah, my own whipping myself. Like I feel that I should do this and that, and it's like it's being a little bit of a like a clamp that I try to mentally unblock. It's not easy, but it works sometimes. So that's another hurdle. That's kind of well for those who don't have a huge studio setup. You shouldn't yearn for like every synth in the world. It can be a bad thing as well. So just find something that makes that you like, that you can use and you can be good at using. You can use every facet of that synth, and then get another one when once you do that, and you can like build up a little like a little ecosystem that you can work with. That's kind of like the big gist, or the big tip that I have for everyone who who considers getting a lot of stuff though. And then there's other stuff. I don't know if getting music out online. It's I used to be everybody. I think everybody has their like this what do you say? Don't want to play your stuff because you're a little bit shy. You don't dare to play stuff for other people. that changed as when I got older and got more confident. But just work with the stuff you have, and just get good at it. Start somewhere. Everybody started somewhere, even the big ones. They were sucked at in the beginning. They played the cheesy kid things, that we did on the piano recitals, and they got better. Just hone your skill and work with it. Talk to people, ask questions. Maybe someone can listen to it. Use Facebook, use social media for what it's worth. Getting feedback, I guess that's and then just ignore people if you feel that it's going to be, if you're afraid of getting bad reviews. Well, who you're making music for? Are you making music for people out there, or are you making music for yourself? So I always struggle with the same thing. I'm like, I always think, will people like this? Is this good enough? But in the end, I was like, I may have to make music for me. I have to make the music that makes me tick and make me like, oh wow, this is good. I like this. I can stand for this. I can stand behind this and say I made this. If you do that, I think it will shine through. So that's the last hurdle that I kind of overcome more over the years, and I think I got better at it. I know what I can produce. I know what I can deliver, and I know my standards, and I can do this, and that's good. It's okay, and maybe more.